Hey there. So, on the 11th of this month, November 2018, Shakti Gawain, the New Age and personal development author, sadly passed, age 70. She was born in 1948, 30th of September. Um, Her books have sold over 10 million copies, and she's a real pioneer of the creative visualization, the power, using the law of attraction, um, and she wrote two great books that I did read in my 20s, and they've definitely influenced my outlook and development. And that's this one, Living in the Light, and also her first book, which really is how she became a well-known author, and that was creative visualization. And yeah, this book, Living in the Light, it's really shines with positivity and sort of the exuberance and vast gift that life is, And I think you can tell you wrote it when she was at a stage in her life that was magical for her. Seeing the wonder of nature, wonder of the opportunity of this existence. She was in California at a time, great opportunity. Now, I think it's quite interesting how she. This book is great. It's a guide to personal and planetary transformation. And Shakti always wrote about, if you transform yourself, that transforms the world. We're all interconnected, and it's the ripples that you send out and the effect you have on those around you when you transform yourself into your highest version. You can transformation begins on an individual level and moves out into the world. The more I'm learning to trust my intuition and act on it, the more I'm willing to experience and accept all my feelings, and more the energy of the universe can move through me. As it comes through, it heals and transforms me and everyone and everything around me. This is true for each one of us. The more you are willing to trust and be yourself, the more you will live in the light. Everyone around you will benefit from the energy and begin to trust and be more themselves. In turn, they become powerful channels for everyone in their sphere of influence, and so transformation spreads rapidly throughout the world. And it's quite interesting how she talks about the media. This is quite an interesting insight she had in Living in the Light. I was once informed by my inner guidance that television would be the saviour of the world. I resisted this idea because I am not a TV buff. However, I did recognise that as mindless and idiotic as much television programming may appear at this time, television is obviously an extraordinary, powerful tool for reaching millions of people instantaneously. I think it is no accident that it has been developed at this time and will probably soon be found in almost every home in the world. Although currently controlled by people whose consciousness is thoroughly embedded in the old world, there are even now occasional flashes of the light. It is only a matter of time until new world consciousness begins to penetrate television programming in a regular and significant way. Television is undoubtedly a major educational tool. With the universe in charge, it can literally become a channel. It provides a network for instantaneously reaching a majority of the world population with positive new ideas. It's obvious that the power of the media, radio, newspapers, magazines and books, as well as television, is unmatched in its potential for fast positive change once our mass consciousness is ready for that shift. Now, I think she obviously wrote this before the internet, but now with YouTube and the media really being open to everyone, we are seeing, some great new age thinkers and, putting their work out there through YouTube. We are getting veganism spread through YouTube to help really heal the planet with that positive way of life. So anyway, yeah, I'm a Shakti. I remember reading this at the time, and it was almost as if I was reading her chapter about. She seemed to me when I read it, it felt like she was saying she could reverse aging with positive thoughts, but I don't really think that's what she was saying when I did reread her chapter on aging and death. So, life is the choice to follow the flow of energy within us. Death is the choice to block or go against this life energy. We are faced with this life or death choice every moment of our lives. Each time we choose to trust and follow our intuition, our channel opens more and more of the life force flows through. The cells of our body actually receive more energy and are renewed and revitalized faster. Physically, emotionally, and mentally, we feel more alive and more of our spiritual light can shine through. Our body stays young, healthy and beautiful and radiates vitality. When we choose not to follow our intuitive promptings, we close off our channel and our cells receive less energy. The body begins to deteriorate faster. When we aren't following the flow of energy, life becomes a struggle. Stress and strain take their toll on the physical form, and we can see the struggle in our faces and bodies. Lines of worry form and the body begins to bend with the effort it is making. If we continue to choose to close off the energy moment after moment, day after day, year after year, eventually the body will age, deteriorate and die. If we change our pattern and begin to trust ourselves more, the body will begin to be renewed. A part of us all wants life, wants to make the commitment to live and is willing to trust our intuition and follow it from moment to moment. There's also a part of us that doesn't trust ourselves. I can't do this. It's too much, too intense. I don't want to surrender. When we go against ourselves, we experience only effort and struggle. When we surrender to life, we feel passion, aliveness and flow. Anytime somebody dies, they are unconsciously choosing to leave this physical body. It may appear that they are victims of a disaster or a deadly disease, but they are in charge of their own journey. Their spirit knows what it's doing, even if the body denies this. When you start to believe this, you will also begin to feel it telepathically. If you're close to someone who dies, you can get a sense of them making a choice. Now, I don't agree with this. I mean, I think life's far more complicated than that, and we are part of a vast symphony, shining lights in God's plan. Well, you know, we are all a reflection of God, but yeah, some things are beyond our control, and it's not just about following your intuition, whether you age or not, you know, but following our intuition as a whole, we can start to solve the mysteries of life to maybe delay aging, change the way we view aging and death. And I think that's what she's hinting at. And the more we choose to live in the light, the healthier and more vital our bodies will become. By living as channels for the universe, I believe that we will retard or perhaps even stop the aging process as we know it. I think it's possible to become more energetic, alive and beautiful as we get older, rather than less so. We will no longer leave our bodies unconsciously through accident or illness. We will stay in the physical body as long as we desire, and will make the conscious choice to leave at whatever time we desire to do something else. Death, if and when we choose it, will not be a tragedy but a conscious transition into another realm. Now, these are interesting ideas, but it's very far from the reality we're living in. But I do think that humanity wants to, you know, to break that spell of death. They and the Bible talks about taking in Revelation. You know, there will be no more death. Yeah, it's interesting ideas. Obviously, she was faced with the reality of, I think she got Parkinson's, so she had to slow down and was faced with her own aging and mortality, you know. And I did see an interview saying, I never thought it would happen to me, and I don't think she did when she was in that full energy of youth, and she was really living, you know, on this intuition, writing her books, doing the workshops. She was obviously living a very very rewarding life at that point, making a lot of money, influencing a lot of people, and her ideas are very positive on the whole. You know, I think that this is a good book. Also, creative visualization. Now, some Christians would say it's probably not Christian, but I think you can look at visualization as prayer as well. Combine the two and still, yeah, use it in a positive way. You know, not for selfish means. And quite interesting vision at the end. Light. From the window of my apartment, I look across the San Francisco Bay at the beautiful city of San Francisco. The light on the water and on the city skyline is constantly changing. Sometimes it is cloudy and misty, sometimes bright and shining, but it always looks mystical. Perhaps this view inspired an image that I frequently have. I see an ancient city, grey and decaying. It is literally disintegrating, the old structures crumbling into piles of rubble, but it is being pushed aside because in its place a beautiful new city is arising. The new city is magical. It seems to shimmer delicately with every colour in the universe. I know that it is being built inside of us. It is created from the light. So, just remembering all the great work that Shakti did in New Age thinking, writing and teaching in personal and planetary transformation. So I hope she's crossed over into a greater reality, and let's all work at improving this beautiful existence. Anyway, this video is a short tribute to Shakti's work, and it's been an inspiration for me, and I think it will resonate throughout creation, inspiring people through the centuries. And God bless, love, light, peace.